Here we go. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. We got a slope of 3, y-intercept of -7, so we're ready to use this equation right here, y equals mx plus b. I'm going to take that slope and drop it right into the equation. So y equals 3x. The y-intercept is given, so I got that -3. Write the equation in slope-intercept form of the graph. Again, they're going to give me that y-intercept, so I can just dump it straight into this equation of +2. And then I'm just going to count off my slope. I went up 5. I went over 6. And so equation's ready to go. They give you all the information necessary to punch this one out. On 3 and 4, we're going to have to calculate the slope, and then we're going to have to dump it in a point slope before we can get to this. So the first thing I need is a slope. I've got -7 minus -10 over -2 minus -5. Again, these are just points. They give them to you in function notation form just to make it a little bit more interesting. I've got 3 over 3, so that slope is 1. And then I'm going to use this point, so I've got y minus -7 is equal to m x minus -2. I want it in this form, so I'm going to need to solve for y. Subtract the 7 from both sides, and I'll have y is equal to x minus 5. On my next one, I've got, again, a need to calculate for slope, so I've got -4 minus -2, and then 1 minus -1. I've got -2 over 2. My slope this time will be -1. I'm going to put it in, so I've got y minus, I'll use this point right here, y minus -2 is equal to -1, x minus 1. Distribute, because again, looking for this form, so I'll need to solve this equation for y. Subtract the 2 from both sides, and I'll get y is equal to -x minus 3. Number 5, this one, a little exciting. You got to take, and the wording is a little rough. The paint costs $14.50, and to make the shirts, you need $7.50 for each shirt. So our total cost is $7.50 per shirt, and then a one-time purchase of $14.50 for the paint. They're then going to ask us the cost of 5 t-shirts, so we drop a 5 in there for X, and you can punch this out on a calculator. It's going to be $52 for that total cost. Write an equation. Now this is something teacher specific. For me, if it says an equation, any equation will work. Many teachers will want you to solve for y. So when I take this, I'm going to say you can drop this into point slope. Y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. We have all the pieces for this. So y minus -3 is equal to -3, which is our slope, x minus 5. This is an equation. If you needed to solve it for y, you would have to take it, distribute the 3, move this one to the other side, and you could get this. But since it says an equation, any equation will work. But that is teacher specific, so make sure you ask your teacher, because I will not be grading your test. Another teacher will. So make sure that you know what form they want if they specify for you. This one, find the y-intercept. So what I'm going to have to do with this line is dump it in, solve for y, and then grab that y-intercept. So I have y minus 3 is equal to my slope, x minus -5. Again, I can't start with y equals mx plus b. I've got to start with point slope, so I have something to work with. So I get y minus 3 is equal to 5 over 9x plus 25 over 9, using my rules of fractions. I'm then going to add 3 to both sides. 3 is the same as 27 over 9. 27 divided by 9 is 3, so I'm adding 3 to both sides. This gives me a common denominator, and I will get y is equal to 5 over 9x plus 52 over 9. And the whole purpose of doing this was to grab that y-intercept, and it's going to be listed at 52 over 9. Next page, we've got use point slope form. Now this one, you must have point slope form. All right, no other form will work, so use point slope form to write this equation. So I've got y minus y1, which is -7, is equal to m x minus x1. Has to be in point slope form. That one's all done. Standard form, this is that ax plus by is equal to c business. All right, so you want to make sure that you have it in that form. I need to start somewhere, so I'm going to start with y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1, using this slope and the point that they give us. I now have to have it in this form, so I'm going to take and distribute that 2 first. So 2x minus 12. I'm going to then, or 2x plus 12 rather, I'm going to get my x and y on the same side, so I'll pull the y from both sides. 12's cancel. This will give me -16 for my numbers, and I'll have 2x minus y on that other side. Right here, the graph, we have a $20 flat fee, that's my y-intercept, and $10 an hour, that's my slope. Every hour I go up and then over 10. If we're going to change it to $35 and then $15 an hour, what happens, the 35 pushes that y-intercept. So 35, we're going to say $15 is added to the y-intercept. And then my slope is increased by $5. Now, write an equation, passes through this point, and is parallel to this line. We're going to use this equation, and a lot of my students get frustrated because they don't know where to start. They see the word parallel, and then they panic. They're like, parallel? I can't do this problem. It's not the case. All we need is a point, which is given to us, and a slope to use. If we want to be parallel, the slope just needs to be the same. So I've got y minus 2 is equal to m, same slope. This slope is 4, x minus x1. They don't specify, they don't specify the type of equation, so you could use this one, or you could solve it for y. Distribute the 4 equals negative 4x, what's that going to be, plus 24, and then move the 2. So y equals negative 4x plus 26. Now you can take it and do pretty much anything you want to it if it says an equation, but again, ask your teacher. You don't want to go around just throwing equations when your teacher has specified a specific one. Next one, perpendicular. This has a slope of negative 3. So perpendicular would be positive 1 over 3. And again, I'm just going to take it and dump it in. Y minus negative 7 is equal to 1 over 3. X minus negative 6. We'll take that, and I'm going to solve it for y. It does not say to, but just in case some of you have and you want to check that answer, I'll have it up here for you. So I've got y is equal to 1 over 3x minus 5. How much time we got? We got 3 minutes. Now this next one, the fill in the blank page, I've actually got them pre-filled in for you. So stop the video right now and take a look at that. But we're going to go on to the slope. See, I work it out once. Gives me fewer mistakes. But anyway, those are the words filled in. And now I'm going to go in, work out the slope, and identify those two pieces, and we'll cut the video. So to determine the slope, I've got y minus y over x minus x. So 3 over 3, this slope is just 1. You can put it 1 over 1 if you want. I've got 2 minus negative 2. Notice how that sign flips. And then negative 7 minus negative 11. 4 over 4. Again, slope is 1. When I go to this next page, or when I go to these next two problems, we're identifying slope and y-intercept. The slope is a number paired with x. The y-intercept is a number that's all by itself. I like to list y-intercepts as points. And then over here, y is not solved for. So I'm going to need to do that before I can identify slope and y-intercept. A lot of the students will take that 4 that's attached to x and the 10 that's by itself and use those as the slope and the y-intercept. But that's not accurate. Y has to be isolated before you can identify slope and y-intercept because they are different numbers once you do so. We get another handy little negative 5. Watch those negatives. We're going to cut the video here and finish up on the next